Before you watch the video, we kindly ask that you hit the like button. It costs you nothing, helps us a lot. On to the show. Super Duty Tough Work. We here, man.
We back.
Been a minute.
It has been.
Couple weeks off.
Yep.
But, you know, when you got it, you got it. I mean, it's like riding a bike, my guy. You know what I mean? It's like riding a bike.
It is. It is.
I never forget how to kick it with my mans. I mean, shit, what is this? You know what I mean? We've been doing this shit for 20 years. 25 fucking years, man. You know what I mean? Hey, this shit is like riding a bike, man. It's just, we just let y'all listen to it every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was going to do this shit regardless.
Right.
We just package it up at formats, bullet points and such.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To make it more palatable to the average person. But me and my mans would do this regardless. And we never forget that. But we want to thank everybody for listening. Super Duty Tough Work been going for a couple weeks. A lot of things been going on. Things been going on. Super Duty Tough Work and friend of the show, Hugo Monster.
Yeah.
Dropped a music video this week for a song called Anybody Out There that features Illogic. It's produced by Pavo. And I posted the music video on my Instagram and social media thing. Illogic did as well. And, you know, Hugo Monster, friend of the show. He's supported the show. You know, he's promoted his records on the show and bought advertisements. And, you know, he does dope music. And he took it upon himself and said, hey, I want to shoot a music video for this song with Illogic. I'm willing to fly out there and do it. Are y'all down?
Yeah.
We said, hell yeah. That's the kind of shit we like.
Know what I mean?
Gusto. Heart. Putting your money where your mouth is. A lot of people talk about they want it. You know what I'm saying? But are you really willing to do what it takes?
Right.
You gonna buy your own plane ticket and hotel to fly across country, shoot a music video? To execute your vision? Are you gonna put your... These are questions you have to ask yourself. We know what the answer is for Hugo. And I directed the music video, edited the music video. You know, we shot a nice portion of it here in my house. You know, and it was just a very chill weekend. We shot for no more than an hour at a time.
Right.
It felt like we were just hanging out. I just happened to bring the camera. And I'm happy with how it came out. I think Illogic is too. I think Hugo is too. If you haven't checked it out, check it out, man. You know, we know that people from the show do get together offline and collaborate. You know, this is not the first time. And it doesn't even have to be us. And sometimes it's not us, but it's people who listen to this and are of like mind. And so we want to thank y'all, you know, because no matter what's going on, we still artists, B. You know, and so we going to do this shit at the highest level regardless. Illogic, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. Got a new toy today.
I saw you post some things on the gram.
Yeah.
This is Arturia joint?
Yeah, it's Arturia.
Okay.
Called the Micro Freak. It's a synthesizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to
finally got you some hardware, huh?
Yeah, you know, something outside. And I got a little effects pedal because it's no effects with the synth inside the synth.
Yeah.
So I got me a little effects pedal for, you know.
Yeah, just to get just freak it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just give me a little something.
Little seasoning.
Yeah, little sprinkles. You know, but I'm really excited to mess with it. It got a vocoder.
Okay. Let's go.
About to get weird over here. It's about to get weird.
I'm gonna send you some of the shit I've been working on.
I know you got some shit.
You already know where I be taking the shit. But yeah. You know. But yeah, that's I like the sense in that, like the hardware sense.
Yeah.
I think they just sound better. And I got a bunch of really nice soft synths, but man, the hardware joints just got a different sound to me.
Yeah, man. Like I just kind of got to play with it a little bit after work. And yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with this. Like,
nice.
Just creating sounds, and it also, like, there's a new patch that the new firmware, you can load samples into it too.
Nice.
And mess with them. And
yeah,
it's
apply synthesis to them, shit like that.
Yeah,
That's dope.
it's about to get really weird. Over
Okay. Because the logic is weird anyway. You already
know.
weird. If you say it's gonna get weird, I know it's gonna get weird. Because
yeah, it's gonna be out there. I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna just play. I'm gonna just play and have fun, man.
Dude.
You know,
man, that statement right there is exactly where I'm at with music right now.
Yep.
Like something happened, you know. I got fired and I just started chilling at the crib every day for 3 months. It's like I'm just gonna make some shit for me.
Yeah.
You know, and it really kind of helped me get my love back. You know, for music, because I hadn't worked on music like that in a long time without expectations. And it's very important that we do that sometimes. Okay.
Definitely.
People, we have a show to do this week. You know, we're trying to get back on a schedule because I basically started driving again 2 weeks ago. Last week was my first week as an owner operator, you know, doing it with my own truck. And
yeah, we'll have to talk offline because I didn't know you had started driving already.
Yeah.
I thought you were still in the process of getting everything together. I didn't know you had already.
Your man's is out there.
Pulled the. Yeah, I know you because when you hit me, you was like, "Yeah, I'll be done driving." I'm like, "You driving again already?"
Hey man, it's been like 90 days, man.
Hey,
almost forgot to drive. It was weird. Well, yeah, we'll talk about that offline. Maybe you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, after we get done, we'll chop it up. But yeah, I'm back driving. But you know, we've been trying to get the schedule, and a lot of the last week or two why we haven't done it has been because you know my schedule has been I'm trying to figure it out. And so but we're back, and this week we are talking about too much social media. Is there too much?
I'm surprised we haven't talked about this already because it's been too much.
It's been, yeah, we've been dancing around this topic.
It's been too much for a while
you know
now.
And so you know, there's some things happening in social media that really made me ask this question again. And I started looking, I started seeing people talking about these things, and ultimately some people are drawing the same conclusion. But we want to talk about some of the things going on in social media and why we think we may be reaching a tipping point. And so I think at the end we're gonna, you know, give you guys some bullet points to walk away with, you know, and we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Work.
We got you stuck off the realness, the most infamous, you heard of us. Official podcast murderers, the show comes equipped with viewpoints to share. Grown man ideas for all those who care and want to grow, so go ahead and download. Every single week with a brand new episode. You're not alone in this world, cousin, so we share information and honest discussion and keep repping the culture like we supposed to. They spread gossip, but they never come close to. I can hear it inside their tone. They talk about the industry but never left their home. You get laced up with bullet points and such, plus empowering topics that they never would touch. You can put your whole network against the team, but Super Duty Tough Work's the MVP. Most valuable podcast on MP3. Priceless info, but all of it's free. So take these words home and think them through. Super Duty Tough Work is coming at you. You are now listening to Super Duty Tough Work with your host, Blueprint. Raw and uncut. Adult conversations. No shucking, no jiving, and no bullshit.
All right, folks, we're back. Super Duty Tough Work, Blueprint, The Logic, my illustrious co-host. This week we are talking about too much social media. Is it too much? What's going on? Why are people thinking it's too much? We got this article I want to read first. This article is from decrypt.co. And the title of the article is 2 Twitter alternatives take flight this week. What are Spill and Threads? Elon Musk adding tweet limits is sending users scrambling. It might have come at the right time for these 2 new Twitter rivals. The article goes like this. The microblogging war is on, and more challengers are appearing at the gate, eyeing the crown long worn by Twitter by capitalizing on its shortcomings. 2 of these rivals are Spill and Threads. The first is founded by a pair of former Twitter executives looking to carve out a space for diverse voices. The second is being launched by Twitter's arch rival, Meta, which has been looking to capitalize on Twitter's business woes since coming under the mercurial control of Tesla CEO Elon Musk last October. Is it any wonder that Musk and Zuck are now angling to duke it out in a steel cage? At the same time, Twitter also faces a challenge from another set of decentralized social media sites, Blue Sky and Nostr, both of which are supported by Twitter's founder, Jack Dorsey. These newcomers arrive at a time of ongoing tumult at Twitter. Since Musk took the helm, he has laid off scores of Twitter employees, scared off advertisers with his rhetoric and gutting of content moderation rules, and turned off users who are now using the app less than before. Over the weekend, Musk rattled users again by introducing a tweet limit. Musk justifies the move as necessary to address extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, adding that the measures were temporary, but offering no timeline for when they would be lifted. Twitter's writhing has left space open for others to try and win over users by offering alternatives. But what do we know about these newcomers? Spill. The Spill app is the brainchild of two former Twitter executives, Alfonso Fons Terrell and DeVaris Brown, who told Afrotech that they are building this app with the help of a diverse team of developers training Spill's artificial intelligence to better detect abusive user behavior. In an interview with Afrotech, Terrell said that designing the platform with anti-abuse systems from the start would protect marginalized groups from harassment and make for a universally better experience. We know by now it's a misnomer that these technologies are objective, said Terrell, Twitter's former global head of social and editorial. It's really important to have different perspectives building these platforms now. Instead of tweets, users spill, playing off the term spill the tea. If a spill goes viral, the app wants to ensure users are the ones being compensated for their content. To do this, Spill will be relying on blockchain to create records of who created what to make compensation easier. Spill developers have not yet provided the details of which blockchain network the app will use or how the tech will work. A representative for the company did not immediately respond to Decrypt's request for comment. Currently, the app is an invite-only beta on the Apple Store after launching in January. It is only available now on Apple OS, but will be available for Android in the future. Threads. Once upon a time, Meta founder Mark Zuckerberg tried to buy Twitter. The year was 2008, at a time when social media really began to take off, but Twitter's board made it clear to Zuckerberg it wasn't for sale. Fast forward 15 years, and Twitter's under new management, and Meta is looking to carve its own path into the microblogging world. Its tool of choice, the Twitter killer Threads. Originally known as Project 92, the idea for Threads was born amid the early chaos that followed Musk's takeover of Twitter. According to the New York Times, Meta employees were quick to sense an opportunity to carve out the market share and went to work on Threads. Built off of Instagram as a starting point, the new app will directly pour to users' Instagram followers and following lists, creating an early starting point for users. Its features aren't rare. Many are identical to Twitter's, but like Instagram, users will be allowed to pick who they want their audience to be it public, friends, or close friends. Threads is set to go online July 6, obviously this is after July 6, for Apple and Android users. End article. What do you think, Elijah?
It's just too much. Like I didn't even know what Spill was. I had no idea about Spill.
Yeah.
But
it got the least pub out of the whole thing. You know what I mean? It came out at the same time as Threads. It was all the same week, I think.
Interesting. But I just reserved my name on Threads. My account is private, and I haven't put anything on it yet.
Yeah.
You know, like I just reserved my name just in case. You know, like Twitter actually dies, and you know I move over. But at this point, you know, it was just like when TikTok started. Yeah, like it's too much. Like I got Instagram, Facebook, I got what else? Twitter, and you know you got a
website.
I got a website.
You got an email list. Let's not forget.
Bunch of stuff.
And you probably don't even feel like you use all of that stuff properly.
Exactly. Got Discord. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm part of a couple Discords. Like it's too much, man. It's too much to keep up with. So, you know, like I barely use Twitter now because the algorithm is all messed up and weird.
Yeah.
And you know, stuff doesn't get the pub like it used to.
Mhm.
You know, so that's it. It is a turnoff, but I'm not gonna move over to something else just because I don't.
Yeah.
It's not that important. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook at this point, my website, those are the main places that people go to check my stuff anyway. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm not looking to move over to some new social media just because everybody else is.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
think
not that important.
no. I think the day that this was announced or all the buzz was going about all this stuff, I had tweeted that day like, y'all not about to have me jumping on all these new websites and social media. I'm done.
Yeah, I saw that. I
was like, nah, I'm not doing it. Because I see everybody, oh, you should come over. Because I'm just not doing it, man. Like, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist here. But I feel like a lot of the shit people are saying about Twitter to promote these two new platforms is overblown.
Yeah.
Like, their criticisms are just a little too extreme. You know what I'm saying? They're not objective enough. And I think that you can't build something based on people not liking something else.
Right.
And it seems like all this stuff is doing, the main pitch of these sites is they're not Twitter.
Yep. And eventually it's gonna be, something else is gonna come. We're not Threads.
Right.
We're not Spill. You know what I mean? I do like the Spill idea of, the compensation and using the blockchain to make sure people get credit for stuff.
Yeah.
I like the idea of that.
The idea. It's not even executed by them yet, though.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But the idea of it sounds great.
Sounds incredible.
If you do have something that goes viral, and you know how everybody retweets and copies people's shit and all that stuff. So I do like that part. But other than that, if it's just another Twitter, I'm good.
Yeah, and it's like I don't have the same issues other motherfuckers have on Twitter. Like I don't have no issues with hate speech and none of this shit. I'm just rapping, man. I'm a rapper. I make beats. I post music, man. That's it. I don't I don't have to deal with the shit that they be talking about. I don't deal with certain things. I post my shit. Somebody talks crazy. Boop, you're blocked.
Yep.
The end. I don't go back and forth with nobody who say nothing crazy. I block you, I mute you, I keep it pushing. So to me, that's not really enough to make me switch over. You know what I'm saying? Like, you mean I got to start all over? I can't even break 20,000. I've been trying to break 20,000 followers on Twitter for like 4 years now, man. I'm not about to go over the fucking Threads and start from one. I'm not. But yeah, but my big... I'm like, do we really need 3 different Twitters?
Right.
Twitters.
Right. That's the thing. Like, do we really need 3 different Twitters?
I don't know. Twitter is has the smallest user base of all the social media platforms.
Yep. Like, do we really need another one? It's not like everybody is on it.
Nah.
Because the thing is, the thing about it is, the reason that Instagram is so much more popular is because it's visual.
Yep.
Pictures, videos are a lot more powerful and a lot more attractive to people than people reading words, whether it's 140 characters or not. It could be 2 words. I'd rather look at a picture because it's more interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's why Mark Zuckerberg bought Instagram.
Right.
Because
he knows.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, I agree. It's another thing that I think Instagram does really well, and I've been experimenting with this the last few months, as you know, is it makes it very clear what you need to do to win.
Right.
I feel like as an artist, whether it's on Facebook or whether it's on Twitter, I don't know what the rules of engagement are. Like, what do y'all want me to do? Do you want me to tweet a lot? Do I have to tweet about these things? Do I tweet a little? Do I just come with the impactful? video. You know, video on Twitter is crap. Gets no fucking engagement. It's almost not worth posting. You know what I'm saying? I take a tweet off of fucking Twitter and put it on Instagram, and I'm reaching 20,000 motherfuckers.
Right.
30. I might have got 5 likes on that tweet. Something's wrong here.
Yep.
But Instagram to me I like Instagram now because it makes it clear what they want you to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, pictures and video, reels and this, post some stories. You can look and see the engage. Oh, this worked. Let me keep doing more of that.
Yep.
I don't feel the other two really do that. And so, yeah.
There's no blueprint. You know, pun intended. You know what I mean? there's nothing to give you an idea of, hey, if you do this, then more people will see your post. More people will follow. More people will like. The algorithm seems to change on Twitter every 2 weeks.
It does. And I feel like recently it started to change back to where tweeting a lot works. But for a while it wasn't working. Really the last 3 months to 4 months since they started messing around with the For You and the things and all that. Like, I feel like my engagement on there just has dropped.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so I don't really tweet as often as I used to because I just don't see as much reward there as Instagram. So I'm heavier on Instagram now. But yeah, as far as these two rivals popping up, I think they saw some opportunity, bought into a lot of the hype about people being discontent, which I think is just, you know, a loud vocal minority. And they thought, okay, let's just build this now since there's some turmoil over there. But I don't think they really have anything drawing you to it that's a positive. Everything that they are pitching is, hey, come over here because we're not them. And I just think you need more than that to give up fucking 20,000 followers. I do.
Yeah. Twitter ain't dying.
No, it's not.
It's not going nowhere. As much as every other day, Twitter is dead. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Nah.
Because you tweeting Twitter is dead on Twitter.
They said, Jay, you can't come back to the hood. When I heard that, when I was back in the hood.
Right.
Yeah, it's like that, man. So yeah. We'll take a break and we're gonna talk about how these new challengers are faring since this article came out. Take a break and be right back. This is your weekly reminder that we have 2 books that you, as a listener or watcher of this podcast, need to absolutely own. The first is The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop Artists, and the second is The Social Media Cheat Code. Both of these books were released within the last year. The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop Artists is a book where I go through the stories and explain the traits that are behind the success of some of the biggest names in hip hop today. The book has got nothing but amazing feedback. And if you are an artist, business person, whatever you do, if you would like to be inspired and would like to learn more about hip hop along the way and also see some reinforcement of the concepts that we talk about on this podcast, The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop is for you. Second book is The Social Media Cheat Code. That is for everyone who listens to this podcast who does not consider themselves an expert or really good at social media. It's not for super experienced people. It's actually for people who are on social media but are not getting the results you need. So what we did is I broke down like 12 or 13 strategies that I use all the time that actually work really well for me. I put it into book. I gave you examples and I tell you how to implement it. That's a book you absolutely need as a listener to this podcast, watcher of this podcast. If you're on YouTube, supporting these books actually goes a long way towards supporting the podcast. So to support the show, if you like what we do, obviously we don't necessarily get paid to do this shit. So support the products and services that we create. And these 2 books are a big part of that. We appreciate your support, and back to the show. What's up, everybody? Got some big news to share with you all today. I'm proud to announce that for the first time, I will be opening up my artist coaching and consulting services to the public. I have been doing it for several years behind the scenes, helping artists and small businesses achieve their goals, but it's never been something that I made publicly available, nor anything that I promoted until now. So, if you're an artist or a small business owner, I'm now available to be booked for one-on-one sessions designed to help you achieve your goals as quickly and as efficiently as possible. If this is something that you're interested in, email me at superdutytoughwork@weightless.net. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and we'll get the ball rolling from there. I look forward to working with you all. Peace. All right, folks, we back. Super Duty Tough Work, Blueprint, Illogic. This week we talking about too much social media. You know, we talked about the challengers to Twitter in the last segment, the first segment. In this segment, we want to talk about what has happened. Act 2. Did it go like they thought? I don't know. This article is from Gizmodo, and the title of this article is Engagement on Instagram's Threads Has Cratered. This is July 14th, 2023, about a week after they launched. Time spent on the app dropped over 50% from 20 minutes to 8 minutes, analysts found. Article goes, shortly after Meta's new Twitter clone Threads hit 100 million users, analysts say that the app's user engagement has precipitously dropped off. NBC News reports that data from Sensor Tower and SimilarWeb indicates that the newly released social media platform from Meta has seen a drop-off in attention from users. Sensor Tower data suggests that on Tuesday and Wednesday, daily active users dropped 20% from Saturday, while time spent on the platform fell 50% from 20 minutes to 10 minutes. SimilarWeb's data reportedly paints a picture equally grim, as daily active users dropped 25% from a peak on July 7th to Monday, while time spent on the app dropped over 50% from 20 minutes to 8 minutes. A Meta spokesperson told Gizmodo in an email, while it's early days, we're excited about the initial success of Threads, which has surpassed our expectations. We launched the app just over a week ago, and our focus now is on ensuring stable performance, delivering new features, and continuing to improve the experience in the coming months. The platform has been facing a bit of an uphill battle of its own design, as Threads is not yet available in the EU due to regulatory concerns. While some users fell for fake versions of the app, others tried to access it via VPN. Meta is now blocking EU users from accessing Threads with a VPN, Engadget reports. Users said notifications, content, and profiles are not loading properly when a VPN is deployed. Meta told the outlet that the EU is an important market, but that it is taking extra steps to limit users in that region from accessing the platform. Threads was unveiled as Meta's Twitter killer and became available for download in the US on July 5th. And since then, the platform has garnered well over 100 million users who are able to access it directly from Instagram. The app has not come without its fair share of issues, however. Meta is really trying to brand Threads as an apolitical, friendly place, according to CEO Mark Zuckerberg, and the rollout might have been too premature, as users who want to delete Threads will need to nuke their entire Instagram account. That's the end of the article. I didn't know that was true.
Yeah, see that was one of the things when it first came out. I sent a couple like I sent because Ilpo was talking about it, a couple other cats, and I sent them an article that I saw yo, like if you want to get rid of Threads, you got to get rid of your Instagram.
That's not
like that's why I ain't even started using it, man. Like,
nah, man,
it's not worth it.
No,
it's not worth it. And that's the thing too. Like, it's hard to get people to change.
Yes.
People don't like to change. People like to be comfortable. People like what they're used to. Whether Twitter has its problems or not, people are used to it.
Yes.
They've been on it for years.
Mm-hmm.
They have their followers. They know how it works. Whether you know how the algorithm works or not is a different conversation.
Yeah.
But they know how the app works. They know what, you know what I'm saying? Like, they know people are going to be on there. They know who they follow, all of that stuff. Trying to start something brand new is not easy. They just thought they was going to drop this and everybody was going to come over from Twitter and Twitter was going to die. It's not that easy. It's not that easy.
Rain on the top was short like leprechauns.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It was short.
Exactly.
You know, but yeah, it's not surprising to me. I when I first heard about these apps, I was like, man, they're getting a lot of buzz this first week. You know, let's see where they're at in a month. You know,
yeah, that's what I thought too. Give them. I was thinking like give them 90 days. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Because if one of them sticks in 90 days, maybe then I'll come over there.
Right.
But I just felt like, but see, this is also another issue with when you market an app based around people's discontent with another app.
Right.
As opposed to the app's strengths and, you know what I'm saying, and benefits. And I think that was probably what eventually happened. People came over initially and they started missing things about the other one because this one doesn't have any unique strengths, you know?
Right.
Other than just not being Twitter.
Right.
But yeah, 50% in, you know, a week. It's been about a month since then, less than a month since then. I'm really curious to see what the numbers are at right now.
Yeah, because when it first dropped, I was seeing mad like thread posts on Instagram and all that, and then my stories and all that. It's been very little lately. Very, very little.
I ain't heard nobody talk about threads, man.
Ain't nobody talking about threads. Ain't nobody posting no threads.
Come on over to threads. Ain't nobody saying that.
Nah.
Yo, I'm on threads. Ain't nobody's talking like that, man.
Nah, they not.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those things where it's not surprising. And, you know, I think some of it is, you know, what we mentioned before. It doesn't have its own unique thing, but also fatigue. I mean, I personally can say my decision to not get on threads is just more based around social fatigue than anything. You know, fatigue is probably about 50% of my decision making. You know what I'm saying? At least 50%. Like, I'm not trying to sign up for another app and then I got to create content for another app. Then I got to schedule content for another app. Then I got to send people to that damn app. I'm tired of doing that, man. I got enough. I got an email list. I got Instagram. I got Twitter. I got multiple profiles for each of these.
Right.
It's not just like Blueprint on it. I got Blueprint. I got Waitlist. I got Super Duty. I got 3 profiles on every fucking social media platform. I'm over it, bruh.
I'm done. I'm done.
I'm cool, man. Like, I don't want to do it. There's like 15 fucking. Nah, man. Nah.
I feel you, man. Like, I mean, it's hard enough to keep up with 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? But you keep adding new ones. And then there's different rules to this one. And then there's different rules to this one. And then you got to have this kind of account to get on this one, to link this account with this. And nah, bruh. Nah. Like, it's like lately, I haven't really been posting a lot of content because I've been doing other shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's felt great. And for you to ask me to get on something else that I don't even know how it works. I don't necessarily even know what it is. I just know it's a Twitter-like thing, and I'm not doing that.
No, fam. We're not doing that. And it looks like a lot of people just went over there and just like, you know what?
Just to check it out.
Just to check it out, to be nosy.
Just to check it out, yeah.
And they all came back to Twitter like, we cool, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Business as usual. You know? And so, yeah, that's something to think about. I mean, if you're listening at home, I'm curious, you know, for our comment section on YouTube and everywhere else where you're allowed to comment. Let us know what your experience is with these apps. Did you try them the first week? Are you still there? Did fatigue have anything to do with, you know, you leaving it alone or not doing it at all? Because we definitely felt it. I'm curious to see what other people are doing. Are you over there and having some success? I'm sure there are some success stories over there. I'd love to hear them. You know, I personally decided early, like, man, I'm just going to have to sit this one out.
Yep.
But we'd love to hear what you guys got. Okay, we're going to take a break and we're going to come back and just talk about an article that kind of summarizes everything we've talked about here today. Be right back. Quick announcement. Over the last several years, we've been asked many times by the listeners of the show if we would ever open it up to the public for advertising. We've always been interested in this, but we never had the systems in place to make it work properly. I'm proud to announce that we are officially accepting advertising from the public on Super Duty Tough Work. Meaning, if you're a small business owner or an artist and you'd like to create more awareness about your product, service, or release on the Super Duty Tough Work podcast, we're now in a position to do that. For more information, email us at superdutytoughwork@weightless.net. Again, that's superdutytoughwork@weightless.net. Email us there. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you would like to promote, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible to let you know if we think it's a good fit and what the next steps are. Thank you for your time. Back to the show. Are you an artist who has the talent to succeed, but has a hard time executing? Do you have the will to win, but lack the plan? Are you tired of having great ideas that never come to fruition, or starting new projects but never finishing them? If you answered yes to any of these questions, reach out to me at superdutytoughwork@weightless.net to book a one-on-one coaching call. Tell me a little bit about who you are, what you're trying to do, and I'll see if I can be of service to you. Have a great day. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We back. Super Duty Tough Work. Blueprint. Logic. Talking about too much social media. Is it too much? You tired of it? Can you handle another 2 platforms? More posts to automate? More people to engage with? More shit on your phone? I don't know. This next article we're going to read is from Forbes.com. And the title of this article is Social Media Offers Plenty of Ways to Connect, but Are There Too Many Options? This is from June 1st, 2023. A month before those 2 new platforms launched.
And they was already talking about it being too much. Come on.
Exactly.
The answer is yes.
Yeah. The article goes, before Jack Teixeira, the 21-year-old junior-ranking U.S. National Guard airman, was arrested in April for leaking classified Pentagon documents, a large number of Americans may have never heard of Discord, the voice over IP and instant messaging social platform. Though it has about 150 million monthly active users since it was founded in 2015, it is largely used by gamers. Discord is one of several modern communication services that now include Skype, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Signal, Slack, and Notion, among others. All of those platforms allow some form of direct communication, as do Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Telegram, Truth Social, and others. It is now increasingly common for a friend, relative, or colleague to struggle to hit them up on a platform you may have never used, or barely heard of. And it often means installing and then signing up for yet another way to communicate. What happened to good old texting, emails, or phone calls? Are there too many platforms? Probably yes, but they serve different purposes and appeal to different audiences and demographics, explained Susan Schreiner, technology analyst at C4 Trends. From social connections to communication platform, everyone probably now knows someone who only prefers to communicate via Facebook or someone who only seems to engage via Twitter. Likewise, when trying to connect with colleagues, Zoom has replaced the traditional conference call. Communication has always evolved, from the telegraph to the telephone to smartphones, and from snail mail to fax and then email. It's safe to say, however, our world has seen its biggest challenge as the internet and social media made its mark, said Jason Malika, professorial lecturer and program director at American University School of Communication. This can also add challenges. Do you really need to install Slack because one colleague uses it while the other prefers Signal? The same is true of trying to manage so many social media accounts. Connecting with people has never been easier, but it also requires a plethora of platforms. From an individual standpoint, being on every social network does a person little good, Malika said. It's important to choose those networks that are best for you. You don't need to be on any platform, though. Yes, blame the pandemic. This oversaturation of communication tools had slowly been building, but it all changed when the country shut down just over 3 years ago at the start of the global COVID-19 pandemic. Zoom offered virtual face-to-face meetings, and social media allowed everyone to stay connected. Now, in the post-pandemic world, we're stuck with an increasingly fragmented communication landscape. Perhaps the most over-reliance on social media platforms is a consequence of the pandemic, said Schreiner. For close to 2 years, Zoom, Skype, Teams, and other platforms became lifesavers to ameliorate loneliness. Overnight, they also emerged as platforms to collaborate and conduct business. On the enterprise level, different organizations selected their preferred platform based on their own criteria. As a result, we're now increasingly at risk of losing that direct human interaction and conversational abilities that can't be replaced by posting on TikTok or Instagram, Schreiner added. She further warned that it seemed as if people had forgotten how to pick up the phone and call a friend to share one's day rather than just a superficial posting. Bars. At issue is that each new service tries to do something a bit different from past platforms. I always advise students and professionals to be aware of what each social network offers, Malika suggested. It's true that TikTok is more popular with one group, but Twitter and Instagram still hold strong with others. Facebook may not be as strong as it was 10 years ago. Regardless, people around the world are still sharing updates. Can the market support so many platforms? Just as there is now a debate as to whether the market can support so many streaming services, the question to ask is, how can so many social communication platforms coexist? The short answer is that we should expect to see some consolidation in the near future. Almost every new technology goes through an evolutionary phase where there is a proliferation of products, Schreiner continued. Remember the early days of cell phones, when on a trade show floor one could see dozens of brands? Fast forward to today, with the remaining few brands vying for their share of the smartphone market. Similarly, these are still the early days for social media platforms, and they too will be replaced with yet to emerge next new shiny platform. And that is probably good, not just because it is hard to manage so many services, but that there is a risk involving having so much personal information out there on an increasing number of platforms. Having too many accounts can be a security risk. One can try to be vigilant, but even if you have 4 accounts, an individual can still see their account hacked, warned Malika, who hasn't been photobombed on Zoom, added Schreiner. As we look into the future, it would seem that a common security protocol across platforms might make sense. That may be just one part of the evolutionary phase of social media, but we still shouldn't get too comfortable with every startup or new platform. Some will become the next Facebook, while others are destined to be another Friendster. We're not going to see social media disappear, said Malika. That's why it's important to understand how these networks can work for you and the value they bring over time. End article. What do you think, Elijah?
I mean, at this point, you just got to pick what works for whatever you're doing. And if you want to, try to juggle 30 social media platforms, that's up to you.
You make it sound so fun.
I mean, it's up to you, but you're not gonna be successful on all 30.
Nah.
There's gonna be the 1, 2, or 3, you know what I'm saying, that you are successful on.
Yep.
And outside of that, you're just gonna be wasting time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to you if you want to waste time or not. You know, like the difference is people in, the industry, the bigger name artists, they have teams of people that work. They probably have one person assigned to Twitter, one person assigned to, Instagram, one person assigned to this, one person assigned to that, where that's just their responsibility.
Yep.
These people ain't out here posting on all these social medias.
Heck no.
They have teams of people to do that. So for them to do it, it makes more sense because they're not tied to their phones like that.
Facts.
But for the independent artists, man, find you a good 3, including, you know what I'm saying? 3 plus having you a website, you know what I'm saying? Plus have you a mailing list, and stick to those and make sure you're doing your best on those and not spreading yourself so thin around all these social media platforms because it's going to waste your time.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, this part, I just kind of have 3 points I want to give everybody just to take away from this this conversation about too much social media. And I think a lot of it is just, we want to avoid feeling overwhelmed. And so this is kind of what we do and how I evaluate these things. And my first piece of advice is to follow your strengths, meaning it's impossible to choose which platform works best for you if you don't have an understanding of who you are and what you do well. That comes first. Who am I? What do I do well? Right? If you can answer those 2 questions very clearly, you will have a very easy time choosing which one is right for you. Right? As you mentioned earlier, if you are great at photography, Instagram is probably for you. If you have a passion, you understand shot composition, things like that, telling the stories with pictures, Instagram is clearly for you. If you are more of a writer, you know what I'm saying, then Twitter, microblogging is for you. Maybe WordPress is for you, a full-length blog, full blogging, right? If you are into video, full-length video, you might just be a YouTuber. You may say, fuck having an Instagram. Fuck having a Twitter. YouTube is my strength. The key, though, is to understand who you are and what you do well. When you understand those 2 things, you can choose the platform or platforms that work best for you. And honestly, it's better to be really good at one than to be mediocre or average at 10. It's like the Bruce Lee quote. He said, I fear not the man who's practiced 100 kicks 1,000 times. I fear the man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. You practice that one kick 10,000 times, no one will ever be able to fuck with you. So pick whatever you're good at, know who you are, and do that. Second piece of advice, do what works, not what you want to work. A lot of people, especially artists, we get on these social media platforms and we hate how it works. We got this love-hate relationship with that platform because we want it to work a certain way, but it don't. It was designed to punish certain things and reward certain things. And so if you're going to be on that platform, be on that platform with a full understanding that to be successful at it, you got to do what works. You got to do what works. That means looking at what other people are doing that works and do it. We know what it is. It's like you can't get no burn on Twitter if you ain't tweeting. You can't get no burn on YouTube if your videos ain't 10 minutes in length. These are the rules, right? You can't get no real burn on Instagram if you ain't got no reels. Those are the rules of engagement. We may want to post regular 16:9 content on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
We may want to post 3-minute content on YouTube. We may want to tweet every 3 months. But that's not what works on those platforms. So do what works, not what you want to work. And then you won't even feel like you need to extend yourself to a place that's kind of uncomfortable with all these fucking choices. You ain't got to get into that. Make a decision and just do what works best. And then the third thing, which we've talked about here in the first segment, is to resist FOMO. Resist the fear of missing out. Like Illogic said, he got on Threads, reserved his name, and bounced.
Yep.
That's what you have to do, honestly. That saves you from feeling like you're missing out, because as artists, you have a brand of business. Every time a new platform pops up doesn't mean you need to be actively using it. Maybe, but it does mean you should be thinking about, okay, if in the future this turns to that place, let me make sure I'm protecting my intellectual property, my brand. That's it. Do that, but don't do it for fear of, oh man, everybody's over there now, let me rush and follow them. Nah, man. No. You could be hopping on websites that might not even play to your strength. I mean, if you don't even like Twitter, what the hell are you hopping on other websites that are like Twitter for?
Facts. Because I hate Twitter.
Yeah, if you hate Twitter, the other joints is just like Twitter.
Same thing.
Yeah, so it's like, don't do that. What do you like doing? And then it's like, okay, go. Boom. You know what I mean? Do that. And so that's it. Those are the 3 pieces of advice. You know, this is a different episode. We just try to read some shit and share some shit with y'all. I don't got the answer for y'all. I know how me and Illogic feel.
Mm-hmm.
We feel like, hey, man, we over it, bruh.
Yeah.
We over it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's up to you, you know, on how you want to spread out your time.
Yeah.
Because if you're really going to be on all these platforms, then like you said earlier, you have to create content for all these platforms.
Yes.
Especially if the platforms don't all work similarly, then you have to create special content for each platform.
Yep.
And that just takes up too much time. And, you know, if you got time like that, you know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to do with your time, go ahead. But,
right.
You know, don't be complaining about not getting your album done.
That's real. That's real. You're making all that content. That's real. So that's it for this week, man. Hope y'all got something out of this. You know, we get back on to doing this a little more consistently now that Brothers is actually working, and I can actually know that I'm off every weekend, because I can just be like, I ain't got nobody tell me that I got, you know what I mean? I ain't got no boss right now, you know?
Right.
So, you know, we thank y'all for listening, and see y'all next week.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to Super Duty Tough Work. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Follow the podcast on SoundCloud. Peace.
Shoot, I got styles already that's more complex that nobody know about. I mean, super duty tough work.